Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Liv. Apologies for this terrible video, but I really wanted to get this filmed. I mean, as you can tell from the title, you already know what it is. And I was going to upload a baby haul, but I want to film this before I do the baby haul. So, this is going to be like the most personal video I've ever done. And I guess I'll just start from the beginning. So, when I was 12, I started my period, and don't worry, this will make sense. I started my period Boxing Day 2007. I know that because I was going to a wedding the next day, and I was really not happy about it because I knew it would just be a horrible time. Yes, I'm in my dressing gown, by the way. Yeah, I knew it would be a horrible time, and anyway, so I started my period, and then after that, until from the age of 12 to 18, I had 1 or 2 periods a year. Obviously, that's not normal. I didn't know at the time. I think when I was 15 or something, I went to the doctor, but they said they were going to do a blood test, and I absolutely hate needles and I was so against it. Sorry about the glare. So I said no, in me company. Yeah, so I said no. And then when I was 18, I have no idea what I went to the doctor for, I can't remember, but I went to the doctors and they wanted to do a ultrasound, and I remember waiting for that ultrasound. Sorry, he's licking himself. I remember waiting for that ultrasound and I was shitting my pants. Well, I'd never had it done before, and I know it wasn't painful, but it was a scary time. And then I got the results back from that and I found out I had PCOS. If you don't know, it is polycystic ovary syndrome. I honestly, when they told me, they didn't really they didn't really say much. They didn't say anything about not being able to have kids, but I did my research, and I don't want to sound offensive, but it was like people who had diabetes and were overweight, and the cure for it was to change your diet, and I knew that just wasn't going to work for me. So I just kind of lived as if I wasn't able to have children. I told my boyfriend before we started to go out that I couldn't have children because I just, as a female, you know your body, and I don't know, I never had periods. I put on the pill, but it gave me really bad mood swings, and at the time, well, me and my boyfriend got together about 3 years ago in October, and I'm sorry if you can hear him licking his eating food. And he was my first, and we didn't use condoms. Sorry, Mom. Or any protection. I was on the pill at first, but yeah, it gave me really bad mood swings and really bad period pains. And with PCOS, you have a higher chance of ovarian cancer, and with the pill you have a higher chance of breast cancer. And I didn't want to load my body up with hormones, and I don't know, I wasn't down for that. I thought if I couldn't have kids, then that was it. I couldn't have kids and I would just live my life like I couldn't. Obviously, it's not the case now. So, let's get on to how I found out. So, a month before I found out, I'd been having really bad period pains. What I thought was period pains. I hadn't had a period since November, and I took a test in March. Yeah, so I was having really bad, what I thought was period pains, and the day we took the pregnancy test, we had sex, and I bled, which happened for like the first time. So I thought my period had come finally. But usually when I get a period, the pain starts like a few days before my period. So I actually thought that I had IBS and I was going to go to the doctor, but I just never got around to it. He's so loud. I put a sanitary towel on thinking it was period. And then when I went to the toilet after, I realised that it was only like a one-off kind of blood thing. And usually with my period it's like, especially on the first day, it's like a lot more than just like a little bit. So I don't know why I thought, I just told my boyfriend to get a pregnancy test, and he came back with one of, you know, the clear blue ones, that's the digital one. And I took that and it said I was pregnant, and then it was a 3+, which means that you're 4 or more weeks along. So I was kind of, it sounds really stupid, but I was kind of still convinced like I couldn't have kids. Like I just thought it wasn't real, like I thought it was like a false positive. But my boyfriend was like shitting himself, and it was just a surreal time. Like looking back, it was like the worst week of my life because it was like so emotional, it was so hard, and it was so surreal. So the next day we went to the doctor's and I did a urine sample for her, and he asked me like why I took a test and stuff. So I told her about the pain and the bleeding, and she thought I might be having an ectopic pregnancy, so she sent us to an early pregnancy unit at my local hospital. This hospital's like, I think it's like I'm not sure, but I think it might be like a children's and like the main maternity place in Manchester. And there's like a new building and an old building, and I didn't realise. So when we were going there, we went to the old building. So I rang this pregnancy unit up and asked them like, how do we get there, because we were completely lost. And the woman was like, she was so rude. She was like, you just walked through the door. And honestly, I was so emotional. I just like hung up the phone on her and started crying. Eventually we did find it, and we went in and we waited for a while, and then someone saw us and I did a urine sample, and they took like blood pressure and things, and they asked me questions, and then I went back to the waiting room, and then someone called me in again and she was like asking me questions. And because I hadn't had a period since November, they thought I was, this was March by the way, so November, they thought I was like 4 months pregnant. But I told them like, no, that's not right. I did tell her about the bleeding and stuff, but she just, I don't know, she just kind of, not like ignored it, but I mean she kind of did. It was hard because we're both, at the time we were both 22, he's 23 now, we're both not teenagers, but we're not old enough to know what we're supposed to do, and we were like treated like we should know what we're doing. It's like really patronising, and it was really difficult because obviously we had no idea what we were doing. So they sent us away. I did explain to them that like the doctor had sent us here, so they sent us to get a scan. And when I went to the scan place, they were like, you're not booked in. And I was so emotional at this time because we'd had no answers. We didn't know like if the baby was okay or anything. So I started crying, and bless the reception woman, she was so nice. She took me into a room and I told her what was going on, and she said that for the pregnancy unit you have to be like pretty much like bleeding for them to even, you know, like consider. So we left and I rang the doctor and told her what happened, and she said that she would ring them and find out what was going on, and she said that it was really weird for them to send me away. So we went back to my boyfriend's flat. By the way, we went to the doctor's at 10, so this was like midday now. We went to his flat and he decided that he was going to go and tell like his gran that we're pregnant and tell his mum and stuff. So I stayed in his flat and I texted my sister saying something like, I need your help telling mum and dad I'm pregnant. And she was finishing work at like 4, so after she finished work she came over, and my boyfriend was still out at this time. He was at his sister's. She came over and she was asking me questions and just like asking me what happened, and she told me to ring the doctor back. So I rang the doctor back and the doctor said that the unit was supposed to get in contact with me and they didn't. So we tried to ring them back but they wouldn't answer. So me and my sister went down and she like explained everything. She explained about the bleeding, and this woman was the same woman that saw us before, and she like tried to make out like that she didn't know that I was bleeding, and I was like, I was too emotional. So they took my blood, and by this time it was like 5-6 o'clock, so it was too late for me to have a scan like that day. So she took bloods and I think she was testing my hormones to see if I'm not really sure, like test my hormones level to see if I was okay to have a scan the next day. And because I was very early, it'd have to be an internal one. So she went home to tell my mum and dad and I stayed at my boyfriend's, and then we had a scan. We had to ring up the next day to book for a scan, and so we went home. I hadn't eaten anything the whole day. I'd had like the worst headache. I'd cried like non-stop. Next day we rang up the scan place and they said like come in for a scan. So I went back to my house. My mum didn't like speak to me. I think I got changed and she gave me a hug on the way out, my mum. And we went to go get a scan. We were in the waiting room for like over an hour. It was awful. I thought I was gonna be sick. Obviously I'd never had like anything like inside before, so I was terrified, and I was just like scared that like it wouldn't be like okay. God. Yeah, I was like worried that something was wrong, and yeah. So we had the scan. Found out I was 6 weeks, and we heard the heartbeat and my boyfriend cried and everything was okay and we were really happy. So yeah, everything was good and I was pregnant. So for that like week, because that was like the Wednesday, yeah, that was that the Wednesday? Yeah, we found out, we took the test on the Monday, went to the doctors and the hospital on the Tuesday, had the scan on the Wednesday, and like for the rest of the week I like cried myself to sleep. Like my mum and dad weren't really talking to me. They were like in shock because obviously like I was at university, my boyfriend was at college and he was working and I wasn't working at the time, and like we just didn't know how we were going to make it work. So I went into uni like a week after and I told them, and like they were really good about it. They said that because it was the March and I finished like summertime, so they said like at this like end of summer I could do like an academic suspension, so I could go like start my second year like a year after, but I decided to stop it in March because I just didn't want to deal with like the stress, and I know like stress is really bad for like a pregnancy, and I didn't want to like do anything to harm like that would hurt the baby, because I know I would just feel like so guilty, and I would feel like I let everyone down. So the week, well, and the main reason was because the week after I was trying to write a uni, what's it called? I was trying to write an essay for uni, and it was the only time I had morning sickness and I couldn't stop throwing up, and I was just like, I can't do this. So yeah, I've taken academic suspension, so I am off from March till March, so the baby's due in October. So I'm going back to uni when the baby's like 5 months old, I think. I'm not sure yet, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. It's just, I'll decide when it comes to it. I mean, I don't want to drop out, obviously. I want the baby to be proud of me. Because my boyfriend's like still at college, and he wants to go to uni as well, and like that's still not changed. That is how I found out. Symptoms wise, apart from the 2 times in like week 6 and week 7 that I was sick, I've not been sick. I've actually been fine, apart from like TMI. If you don't want to hear this, like, I mean, you're clicking on a pregnancy video, what do you expect? I've had really bad constipation and I've had really bad constipation, and I get like the urge to poo, but I can't push. And the only thing that's been helping is like energy drinks, Lucozade, caffeine. I know I'm not supposed to drink, well, you can have like a cup of tea a day or something. Like Lucozade is like the equivalent to like a cup of tea a day. And my midwife told me not to drink caffeine, but I need it to go to the toilet. Like, it's the only thing that helps, which is really strange. Apart from that, like, my symptoms have been fine, but this week I've been feeling really like emotional. I'm 15 weeks and I've been feeling so hormonal, and I think everything's just like starting to kick in, and like me and my boyfriend are planning on moving in together in August, and obviously like he's working and he's at college, I'm not working. Like, it's really hard to get a job when you're pregnant. Who's gonna want to hire you? You know, it's a nightmare. I'm trying my hardest, because I have no money at all. I'm so poor, and I can't stop buying baby clothes. Yeah, so I was worrying about, I've just been like crying about like money and how we're gonna like afford things, and like thinking that I made the wrong decision, which is stupid because I obviously like don't regret it. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional again, but like that's what I've been thinking. Like, I'm thinking, do I regret this? But I obviously don't. I know, like, I don't. I know I'm just being like stupid and hormonal, and my like I'm finally starting to like see like changes in my body, and I think this week I've just been feeling like really overwhelmed with it. So everything was fine, and then I had my booking appointment on a Monday, and then that was when I was 12 weeks, and my 12-week scan was for the Monday after, I think. But I think on the Wednesday I felt like, you know, like when you come on your period and you can just feel like a of blood. Like, I felt that. I honestly thought that I'd weed myself, and I looked and it was blood, and it was 2:30 in the morning. I woke up my mum and she rang the pregnancy unit and they said like keep an eye on it, and if you fill up like loads of pads then to come in. Sorry, everything has changed. As I was saying, I got up in the morning and, well, actually I didn't even sleep, and I had gone through several pads, so I thought I better go down, because being like that close to 12 weeks, like I was terrified. My mum was like crying and she wanted to come with me, but she had work. Yes. So me and my boyfriend went down together and it was empty, and we got seen straight away, and they said that I could have a scan like right then and there. So we had the scan and luckily everything was okay. They didn't know why I was bleeding, but everything was fine. And we got our 12-week scan, which I will show you now. This is our little baby. Isn't it cute? I honestly can't wait to find out what it is. I'm so excited, because then I can start actually buying like things, and I'm just so excited. Like, it's Sunday today and it's like 1 AM and I'm officially 16 weeks. Like, when I was filming the video before and I said I was 15 weeks, I was, but it's Sunday, so I'm officially 16 weeks. So 4 weeks. 4 weeks till we find out. My 16 today week. Bump. Bump from the front. Bump from the side. Not really got a bump. It's look fat. Till we find out. And I'll definitely be doing a video then. But thanks for watching, and sorry it's been emotional and stuff, but I'll see you in my next video.